Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we are talking about Today Music News 2022. Number 1. The global music market was worth $26 billion in 2021. Global music revenues grew at the fastest rate in more than 2 decades last year, with help from artists like BTS, Taylor Swift and Adele. The growth was driven by streaming, with 523 million paid subscribers, up from 443 million in 2022. The remaining 11% comes from a mixture of royalty payments and licensing music to films, TV shows and adverts. The figures mean the industry has enjoyed a 7th consecutive year of growth, according to trade body the International Federation of the Phonographic Industry. It's hugely encouraging, Chief Executive Francis Moore told the BBC. We lived through the dire period after 1999, where the industry declined by 40%. The UK music industry grew at a slightly slower rate than the global average, with revenues up 12%, according to the BPI, but it remains the third biggest music market in the world, behind the US and Japan. Revenues in the US outpaced the rest of the world, rising by 22%, while lockdown-bound Australia was the world's slowest-growing market, on 3.4%. The IFPI report highlighted the increasingly global nature of music consumption, with artists from Latin America, Africa and Asia featuring among the year's top 100 artists. South Korean band BTS were the biggest-selling act for the second year running after topping the US Billboard chart 3 times and earning a Grammy nomination for their Michael Jackson-inspired single Butter. Who could have imagined that 20 years ago? Moore asked. It's a phenomenon. US songwriter Taylor Swift was the year's second bestseller, the same position she held last year, while Adele came third. Adele's fourth album 30 was the most popular record overall, selling 4.7 million copies, while The Weeknd's Save Your Tears was the year's biggest single. Number 2. Ed Sheeran awaits verdict in traumatizing Shape of You copyright trial. Ed Sheeran faces a wait of days and weeks to learn the outcome of a high court trial over his hit Shape of You. The star has been accused of copying part of the song from another artist. In closing arguments, grime artist Sammy Chokri's barrister said there was an indisputable similarity between the works. But Mr. Sheeran's lawyer said the case against him was so strained as to be logically unintelligible. Mr. Justice Zaccaroli said he would take some time to consider my judgment. The 11-day trial ended on Tuesday. Ian Mill QC, representing Mr. Sheeran, said it had been deeply traumatizing for the star and his co-writers, Johnny McDaid and Steve Mack. Mr. Sheeran, who has attended the court throughout, listened attentively to the closing arguments with his hands clasped together. During the trial, the superstar has been described as a magpie who borrows ideas from other artists. Number 3. The Nigerian singer, who hated his own voice. Kabams Asukwo is now one of Nigeria's leading music figures both for his production and singing, but he started his career behind the scenes because he didn't like the sound of his own voice. Asukwo's tone is serious and measured when explaining his dislike of his own voice, almost as though he is describing someone else. That discomfort with the very thing he now showcases to his fans around the world was the major reason why he spent the first 13 years of his music career as a producer to some of Africa's biggest stars, he told the BBC. Asukwo, 41, has worked with a string of Afro music stars, including Asa, on her hit 2007 album of the same name. As for his own music, which is a mix of soul, gospel, R&B and Afropop, his hit tracks include singles like We Plenty, One Hit and Ordinary People. He is eloquent and lucid when talking about his love for music, but on the topic of his unease with his voice, he loses some of his fluency and cannot fully explain it. He even goes so far as to use the word hated, and then drifts off. Number 4. TikToker Luke Gittins shivers cover better than Ed Sheeran. A musician who did a TikTok duet with Ed Sheeran in lockdown said the singer told him he sang it better. Luke Gittins began recording covers and releasing them on TikTok during the pandemic when he could not play gigs. The 21-year-old's version of Shivers was seen by Sheeran, who sang along to the cover of his hit song. Mr. Gittins, from Wiltshire, said, "He said that I sang it better than him, which was absolutely unbelievable. He took up the guitar at the age of 8, but only began playing seriously when he performed a cover of Lego House from Sheeran's first album when he was 11. Mr. I hope you guys liked the video, and for more stuff like this, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for notifications. See you soon, goodbye.